Alright guys, we're going to be getting into the special move counting here. So one thing that you can do to train for special moves is you want to bring one character who has a very broken special move. So in this case, obviously that's not going to be G4. His special move is pretty balanced. We are going to go ahead and bring, let's bring Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He is probably the most unbalanced special move in the game. And then we're going to have our friend Goog here bring the legendary Super Saiyan Broly. And the way that you want to set this up so you can practice as much as possible is you want to bring all these healing characters and you want to put the max HP capsules on them and just bring these guys and make it a team battle. That way you're able to bring one character that you want to practice with and then 4 characters you can just constantly heal, and then just set it to max time so you don't get kicked out because of time, and then you can just use that to practice as much as you want without having going back to the menu. With that being said, let's go. Alright, so first up here we have Wuhan. We're going to go and talk. He has a very fast unguardable ult. Let me go ahead and give him sparking so you guys can see that. So like, let's say we're at this range right here. Let's see how fast Wuhan's ult is at this range. It is a very, very quick unguardable ult, so there's nothing you can really do to get out of this. But let's go and show you guys. And that is just basically instantly hits. There's only like a singular frame, like a singular second that you can really react to it. But that's what it is. So we're going to show you guys how to counter that. So when you're this close, this only works if you're this close and it's a raw neutral ultimate. What you can do is during the animation for the ultimate, if you just hold guard, it'll automatically input the guard at the first frame that you can. So we're going to go ahead and have him ult here. And now right here, I'm already pressing guard and I'm just holding guard right now. So this only works if your character is in neutral, and it doesn't work with every single unguardable special move. I don't think we've even tested it with Wuhan. Let's see if it does work. Yep, right there. So because of the way this works is when the person is using their ultimate, there's a time stop, and in that time stop, it only registers one button that you press, and you can't change it after your initial. So if I press guard right there and then I press square and X, it wouldn't do anything. It would register me as pressing 2 inputs and do nothing. I'll go ahead and show you guys that here. Unfortunately, I can't put my inputs on screen because the game doesn't have that as a mechanic, but let's go ahead and see if it does register the input if you change mid input. So go ahead. So right now I'm holding guard. Now I'm gonna press square and X. So right now I'm pressing square and X. Let's see if it does it. Yep, it does not. So if you change your input while that animation is going on, it'll just not do anything. So if you try to press guard twice as well, the same thing will happen. So the moment you see that ult animation, you only want to press guard once, because if you try to spam it, then nothing will happen. So if you just hold guard and it's neutral, it will auto dodge. Just go ahead and go to Z Broly. Let's show it with his. So with Z Broly right here, we're going to go ahead and hold guard. And this will auto dodge it. Right there. Even though we are point blank, it auto dodges. So that's all the tech is really. When they ult, you just press R1 if you're close enough. However, the issue with this is now what I'm going to have my friend do here is I'm going to have him key blast spam me into the ult. So the key blast spam will lock me into the animation. And because of the key blast spam, even if you hold guard, you won't be able to do it. So I'm going to, that's not going to work because we were able to get out of the hit stun. So let's, we're just going to hold guard here and see we were able to dodge right there. So you got to key blast them and do it a little faster, and then it'll work. There you go. So now if I hold guard here, we will not be able to dodge it because we're in the key blast animation. Holding guard, and right there we get hit. So that's really all it is if you're in complete neutral, you can hold R1 there and it will dodge. I should have ideally switched because then we would have had Super Saiyan 2. Did you bring Super Saiyan 2 go on? Okay, that's fine. But that's pretty much all there is to it. The other tech you can do is you can press square and X, and square and X this is what that will do. And the reason that tech works is, it will put you behind the enemy, dodge their ultimate, and then attack them, and you can even combo off of that. But again, the same issue, you have to be really close to them, because any other range, you will end up actually dodging the ult, and then you'll be in a position where you get hit by it again because it goes forward. So this will always go forward like this and try to go that. And then depending on the range, like at this range, it doesn't work. And if it was to ult me and I popped it at this range, I would just end up hitting his ultimate because I would dash into it. And there's no way to like dash to the side with this. It'll always go in a straight line. So that's kind of the issue with that. But if you're close range, let's go ahead and show you guys here. I'm going to have him ult me. And then I will do the same thing where just like guard, you just hold square and X during the ult. and we will immediately do the square next input and dodge the ultimate and attack him and be able to combo off of it. And there we go. You end up dodging the ult and hitting them, and because we didn't go behind them, we weren't able to counter there, but we would just be able to do a charge smash and then follow it up with this, go for this, and do that to go ahead and counter there. And that's something you can do from like a mid-range neutral standpoint. From guard, you can't go straight to it, so if you are guarding, you need to let go and then do it. So like, let's say you're mid-range right here, from this range you would do this attack. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna, let's say you're guarding here, he's spamming you with key blast, and then go ahead and do the ult with that. So from this range, let's say he's key blast spamming, and then he does that. We're gonna go ahead and hold, we're gonna let go of guard and hold square next here. We're still gonna be stuck in the animation for guarding because he key blast spams into it, and we won't be able to dodge it there. So that's the thing with being able to do these tech where you're pressing buttons during their ultimate animation. You need to be in true neutral and not doing anything else, because if you're doing anything else, like if you're doing this when he goes into his ult, you'll still be guarding when you come out of his ult, even if you press something else. And then, so what it'll end up doing is, if you're holding square next while you're guarding before the ult, it'll end up doing this rather than doing this, because it doesn't register that you stopped guarding. So you have to, honestly, you can't hold it, you have to wait it and actually time it, and that's where the difference comes in. You have to actually time Broly's ultimate. And that is a very hard thing to do. That is a very, very hard thing to do. But those are a couple little cheesy ways you can get out of it if it's a close range. If somebody's just trying to spam you with unguardables over and over again, this is what you can do. This will not work against AoE ultimates. We'll show you guys that as well. And the reason for that is because if you dodge an AoE ultimate, you're still around them. You have to like dodge backwards, and that's not a thing that you can do. You're always going to be dodging to the side and all that stuff. So with an AoE ultimate, we're going to go and show you guys that now. He's going to go ahead and pop that behind us, because when he's behind, we can't block it, so we have to dodge it. So go ahead and pop it. So right here, if I'm holding R1, what'll happen is I'll just get hit by it anyways because it's an AoE. You can't vanish out of this. There's no way to vanish out of that attack. The initial hit of it will always hit you. That's just how it works. There's nothing you can do about that. So what you have to do in order to turn around is you have to just keep moving. You can't be standing still, and then like if you're moving when they dash in, go ahead. And then right there, as you see, my character turns around way faster since he's moving, and I can hold block during his ult, and it's immediately block it. But if you were doing something like this and they did that to you, you would not be able to do that. You have to be moving, and otherwise your character will not turn around fast enough. So you have to be doing this. Like let's say you see somebody sparking, you don't want to be doing this if somebody's in sparking. You want to be moving around that way. If they come to you, you can go ahead and do this. You can also do it off of a sidestep and then hold block. Let's go ahead and show you guys that now. Grab your ult. Alright, go ahead. See right there? Just that little sidestep into that movement, and we are turning around so we can block. And then you can hold R1 during the animation, and you will block. They will not be behind you, and it will not be considered basically an unguardable. So that is how you can counter an AoE ult if somebody's trying to cheese you with that. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is mid-combo ults, because these ones, there is no way to counter them. You can't do this tech during a mid-combo ult because you're stuck in the animation of falling. So the only option you have during that is to actually perfect dodge. So here we have Broly comboing us into an ult. So right here we have just a singular second to react and dodge this. That's what we're going to try to do. And we did not, because it is very fast. It is very hard to do. And again, you only have a singular second after Broly's blast leaves his hand to actually do it before it actually hits you. That's not going to be... So right here, because he decided to turn us around, we are going to be able to just hold guard and dodge it, because that ended up resetting the combo and putting us into neutral. So that's somewhere where you could use the tech, is if the person messes up and resets to neutral, you can just hold guard in that range and dodge it. Oh, there we go. Yes. Okay. So that is the frame perfect timing to dodge a Broly ult mid combo. It is extremely hard to do. Extremely hard to do. That took a while. That took a couple of attempts. We almost lost our save data while trying to do that. It was kind of crazy. But that is the timing on it. You just got to keep practicing it. And eventually, obviously, if you get it down, you'll be able to dodge Broly's ult every single time. And the range on it obviously determines a little bit. But honestly, the more range there is, the more time you have to react to it, right? So that's the whole thought process with it. So with Gohan's ultimate, it is a little bit different because Gohan's ultimate is as fast as it is. So here, we're going to go ahead and ult, and our friend here is going to hold guard during our animation, and he will not be able to dodge it just because of how fast Gohan's ult is at this range. So you see right there, he gets immediately hit. He has not even a singular frame right there to actually react and guard and dodge it. So at that range, you literally can't do anything about the Gohan ult. It just immediately hits you. It's an unguardable as well, so you can't guard it. And that's just how that ends up working out. Now, we're going to show you guys how you can counter it, which is going to be the square and X input. So if you hold the square and X input once Gohan ults, you will just go behind him and hit him. Let's go ahead and do that here. So you see right there, he goes behind us and hits us. But again, you guys got to remember, because Gohan's is a straight beam, if you're not close enough to actually go behind him there, you will not dodge it. You will end up just going into the ult. So if he was to do the square next input from there, he will just go ahead and hit the beam, and the beam will go ahead and hit him. So you do have to be close enough to actually do the behind hit that you get when you do square next, which is this right here. But again, you have to be in neutral. If you're not in neutral, like let's say you're holding guard, you will get hit by it no matter what. So you have to be very careful with if you're holding guard or if you're holding perception. You don't want to be doing that. You want to be kind of just in normal neutral here. You want to have good defense. When you think they're about to ult, when you see them do like the little back step that they do if they're too close, that's when you want to let go. You want to try to predict and you want to let go of guard and be moving. Because as long as you're moving, you can go ahead and do the square and X, or you can hold the guard to instant dodge depending on which character you're fighting. But you're just going to have to lab the characters, figure out which characters' timings are which. Like in Wuhan's case, he also has an unguardable Majin Beam, which if he uses at this range, if I hold guard, I will just instant dodge it. I was going to show you guys that. So right here, I'm just holding guard during his animation, and I instant dodge it right there at point blank range. So that is all stuff. And because of how fast Majin Beam is, even at this range, I'm pretty sure you can instant dodge it. Holding guard right now, right there. So that's just how those ultimates work, is if you just hold guard during their animation, you will instant dodge them. Now we're going to go ahead and show you guys against an easier ultimate. This will be kind of like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's ult or stuff like that, where it's just like a beam, like Blue Goku's. We're going to go ahead and do that against Gohan's here. There we go. That is how it works against a normal ultimate that isn't, you know, like a Broly that instantly freaking hits you and has an animation. You can go ahead and just time it. It's all at the end of the day, it's just timing. You just practice and you keep going. If you guys are having trouble against Broly, Jiren, etc., whatever it is, you just got to keep practicing. The main thing is just with those AoE ults, especially Super Saiyan 2 Keflas, you have to be very careful because even if you dodge it, you could still get hit by it. So against Keflas and stuff, your best bet is just to freaking not get hit by it in the first place, man. You can't really dodge those ults, man. Those are the real unguardable ults of the game. When they're behind you with an AoE, it's time to pack it up, man. If you're not turning around, if you're charging, or if you're holding block and they turn around, like, yeah, it's kind of wraps, bro. It's kind of wraps. But that is pretty much every possible way that you can dodge an ultimate in Sparking Zero. I hope this helps you guys and avoids getting cheesed in ranked as well as casuals. The main thing is, man, just practice, practice, practice. The exact same thing I said in the defense guide. We talked about this a little bit in the defense guide, but I felt the need to make an advanced guide on it because it seems like people were so confused about it. So we are going to go ahead and put out this advanced guide to help you guys learn a little bit more, put a little bit of training tips in there on how to like really practice it. If you don't have a friend, the other thing you can do is you can go into AI and you can set the AI to, we'll go ahead and show you guys. We're going to hop into a practice match with an AI, and I'll show you guys how you can train against this with an AI. Alright guys, here we're gonna so what you want to do is you want to set the AI to whatever ult you want to practice against. We have it set to G4 here, and then you want to go to training settings. First thing you want to do is go to gauge settings and change it from health gauge to max, change key gauge to max, change your sparking gauge to normal skill count max, and switch wait time max. What this will do is this will make it to where you always have max HP, so you can't die, so you don't have to reset. Key gauge doesn't matter for in terms of what we're training for. And then the enemy CPU, you want to set it to max everything. And then you want to go to opponent settings and change the CPU to attack strategy and then ultimate blast right here. And you want to set it to super so that he's just constantly going at you. And then this, after you do this, the AI will constantly just try to hit you with closing the distance and rushing and ultimate blast, which basically means that they're going to keep trying to F you up. That's all this means. So we're gonna go ahead and try to practice, and then G4 is immediately throwing the ult. Because this is close range and it's neutral, he didn't combo into it. We can just hold R1 here, and we were able to block it. So that's just how that's gonna be. We do get hit by that. We could have timed it to try and dodge. This is him comboing us into it. Let's see if he does an ultimate or just a normal blast here. He go for the ultimate. So here we do have to dodge it, otherwise we will get hit. And we did not dodge it. But you pretty much just keep doing this and keep trying to practice against the bot to try to figure out how to dodge. So here we could block it, but we're gonna try to play for the dodge. Damn it, we missed with that. So right there you can tell, because we were already guarding, that we pressed it too early. We gotta press it later than that if we want to perfect dodge it. So that's how you can tell if like you're pressing it too early or too late. If you press it too late, obviously you get hit. If you guard it, that means you press it too early. If you're mid combo, that just means you didn't press it on the right timing. And you want to just kind of approach the bot, and the bot will play aggressive against you with there. So right here we can hold R1 because we're right in his face, and we should just instant dodge. And because his ultimate is slow, it doesn't work. We just end up guarding it. So you have to time it a little bit with his. We did not dodge that either. But this is all you really can do to practice ultimates right now. If you don't have somebody to spar with, you can just go ahead and do this. And this is a decent way. It's not an effective way, I would say. I think this could be a lot better. But this is a way for sure that you can practice it. We were able to block there. So for my case, what I'm learning with my timing is just I'm pressing it too early, and I need to wait just like a second more, and I'll be able to perfect dodge it. So that's what I'm going to try to do, is I'm going to try to wait just an extra second before I press the guard button, and then I should be able to just perfect vanish the ultimate. Let's see. All right, we're getting comboed into it. We cannot guard here. We have to dodge. And we ended up hitting the ground and recovering, so we ended up not being able to dodge it. Unlucky. And that did 37k damage, by the way. Balanced. Alright. All we need is one dodge, man. One dodge. This is what I'm talking about with the AI being unoptimized. It just, sometimes it just whiffs like that, man. Sometimes it just doesn't do it. All right, we're on the ground. Let's see if we can dodge it. God damn it, man. There you go. So you pretty much just train against the bot. All right, you said it. I speed ran that footage so you guys can see like what it looks like, but you pretty much just do that against the bot if you don't have somebody to spar with. And I would say this is obviously harder because the bot's gonna do random stuff. You can't predict it. It's not telegraphed, so you get to get a lot more like realistic practice with this. But at the end of the day, the best practice is just hopping into ranked, and you just try to do it in ranked, man. But I would recommend you guys do this for a couple hours, maybe a couple minutes before you do ranked. That way you can at least get a little bit of the practice in. But that's all it is. Obviously, we weren't able to dodge the ult against the bot there. It's just timing, man. It's all very much so timing. But we were able to dodge the big bang. So you guys kind of get the idea. The idea is you just keep letting the bot beat on you, and you try to perfect dodge whatever ult it throws at you. Whether it's a impact clash, whether it's a Kamehameha, whether it's a big bang, whether it's a Broly ult, whatever it is, you can just practice the timing here with that. And that's how you can train for it without having another partner. With that being said, this is everything you guys needed to know on how to counter ultimates and how to train to counter ultimates in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. This is your bro Aizen, signing out.